June 25, 1678. The University of Padua. A crowd so large the ceremony must be moved. Not to a larger hall. To the cathedral itself. What draws them? A doctoral defense. But not just any defense. Something that has never happened before. Something many believe should never happen. A woman. Standing before the assembled doctors of the university. About to do the impossible. How unprecedented was this moment? Consider the mathematics of exclusion. Since the founding of universities in the 11th century, thousands of doctorates had been awarded. The number granted to women? 0. For 6 centuries, the equation remained constant. The University of Padua itself, founded in 1222, had produced generations of scholars. Male scholars. Until 1678. Elena Cornaro Piscopia. Born 1646. Not just Venice. One of the most powerful families in the Republic. The Cornaro clan had produced doges, cardinals, queens. Wealth? Immeasurable. Influence? Reaching into every corner of Venetian power. But here's what matters more, her father. Giovanni Battista Cornaro Piscopia. A man with an obsession. Legitimacy. Legacy. And a plan to use his daughter to achieve both. Giovanni hired tutors. The best available. Elena studied languages. Latin. Greek. Hebrew. Spanish. French. Then mathematics. Philosophy. Theology. By age 7, she could converse in Latin. Reports from the period describe something remarkable. A mind that absorbed everything. But was this about Elena? Or about what Elena could become? A trophy. A demonstration. Proof of the Cornaro family's sophistication and power. Giovanni's original plan? A doctorate in theology. The highest discipline. The most prestigious. But here the plan encounters an immovable object. Cardinal Gregorio Barbarigo. Also a Venetian. Also powerful. His position? Theology cannot be taught by women. The Church's stance is clear. A woman with a theology doctorate might presume to teach. To interpret scripture. To claim authority. Unacceptable. Impossible. Forbidden. The negotiation results in a substitution. Not theology. Philosophy. Aristotelian philosophy, to be precise. A compromise that satisfies no one completely but allows everyone to proceed. Compare what was sought versus what was granted. The distance between them reveals everything about the forces at work. About what was truly possible. And what would always remain out of reach. Back to that June day. The cathedral overflowing. Elena stands before the examiners. She defends her thesis for 1 hour. In Latin. Flawlessly, by all accounts. She answers challenges from the assembled doctors. Demonstrates mastery of Aristotelian logic, physics, metaphysics. The examiners confer. The verdict is unanimous. She has met every standard. But has she? Or has the standard been adjusted? Made achievable precisely because of who she is? Those who witnessed the ceremony left records. Their words revealed a tension between admiration and discomfort. Between celebrating achievement and maintaining boundaries. One observer's account captures the ambivalence perfectly. Praise, yes. But praise laced with relief that this would be an exception. Not a precedent. What does Elena do with her unprecedented doctorate? She does not teach. Cannot teach. The university makes no offer. She would not accept one anyway. Instead, she joins a Benedictine oblate community. Not as a full nun. As an oblate. Maintaining some independence while demonstrating piety. She continues her studies. Mathematics. Music. She becomes known for charity work. For modest living. For religious devotion. A careful performance. Strategic sanctity. How many women followed Elena through the doctorate door she supposedly opened? Track the numbers. They tell a different story than the celebratory accounts suggest. After Elena's doctorate in 1678, the next woman to earn one appears more than a century later. Over 100 years of silence. The door didn't open. It closed. And was perhaps never truly open at all. One exception. Carefully managed. Never repeated. Return to the prerequisites. Elena Cornaro Piscopia could pursue a doctorate because of wealth. Because of family connections. Because her father could hire the finest tutors. Because the Cornaro name opened doors that would slam shut for others. This wasn't about gender equality. It was about one aristocratic family's ability to bend rules that applied to everyone else. The question isn't why Elena succeeded. It's why only Elena could. Elena dies in 1684. Only 38 years old. The accounts mention tuberculosis. Mention her declining health in her final years. Her death passes with public mourning. Tributes from Venetian society. But then something interesting happens. She fades. The story becomes a footnote. For centuries, history largely forgets her. Until much later, when she becomes useful again. As a symbol. As inspiration. As proof that progress happened earlier than we think. But did it? 20th century. Universities begin admitting women in significant numbers. Suddenly Elena Cornaro Piscopia matters again. Institutions claim her legacy. The University of Padua erects a statue. Vassar College installs a stained glass window in her honor. She appears in histories of women's education. But this rediscovery is selective. It emphasizes the achievement. Downplays the compromise. Ignores the century of silence that followed. The narrative needs a pioneer. Elena becomes one. Retroactively. Compare Elena's story to other firsts in exclusionary systems. The pattern repeats. An exceptional individual from a privileged background achieves something unprecedented. The achievement is celebrated. Used as evidence of progress. But access doesn't expand. The exception proves the rule rather than breaking it. The system absorbs the anomaly. Continues largely unchanged. The first becomes a symbol. Not a catalyst. Recognition without transformation. What if we read Elena's story differently? Not as progress. As containment. The system allowed one carefully controlled exception precisely to avoid broader change. By granting a doctorate to an aristocratic woman who would never teach, never challenge authority, never disrupt the hierarchy, the university could claim enlightenment while changing nothing. Elena's achievement becomes evidence that the system works. That merit can triumph. That doors are open. When the truth is exactly opposite. The door opened for one. Then locked behind her. Return to the mathematics. When did women gain genuine access to doctoral education? Not 1678. Not even 1732 with the second exception. Try the late 19th century. Even then, access remains limited. Elena earned her doctorate in 1678. The first woman earns a PhD in the United States in 1877. Nearly 200 years later. And that's in America, not Europe. Elena wasn't the beginning of a trend. She was an isolated data point. An outlier that proves how rigid the system truly was. So what do we do with Elena Cornaro Piscopia? Celebrate her achievement? Absolutely. Her intellect was genuine. Her accomplishment real. But also ask harder questions. Who benefited from her success? What changed because of it? Who was left behind? The story of the first woman doctorate holder isn't just about one woman's triumph. It's about how systems manage threats. How institutions perform progress. How exceptions become tools for maintaining exclusion. Elena opened a door. Then watched it close. That's the story. The full story. The one we need to remember. 3 centuries after that June ceremony, universities worldwide enroll women doctoral candidates. The battle Elena couldn't win has been largely won. But perhaps not because of her. Perhaps despite the model her story represents. The real change came from collective action. From women who demanded access, not permission. From those who didn't wait for exceptional circumstances. Who refused to be tokens. Elena matters. But not as the hero of progress. As evidence of how hard systems fight to avoid change. How much privilege it took to achieve even one exception. And how long genuine transformation takes.